So an equation of a circle. Now y'all know a circle has a center. So a circle could be on a coordinate plane and it would have a center, and let's say that that's 3, 2. And let's say that it has a radius of 3 or 4. Now a circle will have a center and it has a radius. What's the radius?
1.
Radius, that's not a great circle, but the radius would be the distance from the center to the what? Edge. So on a coordinate plane, it would be really easy to get see 4 radiuses, the ones that are right beside it and the ones that are up and down from it, right? But if you also got a radius here, it would still be the same amount. So what I just said was this radius is 4. So you have an r that equals 4. So here's the equation of a circle, and this is how you will see it tomorrow. Now you've seen h and k before. And this is a very, very simple process. If the center is 3, 2, that's the x value and that's the y value, correct? So with the x coordinate, you put the x value. So what's the x value? 3. And usually when it goes in parentheses in this class, it's been the opposite, right? Because in a parentheses, that would mean shifts left or right. You remember that? And it was always the opposite. Well, both of these are in the parentheses. So if it's 3, it wouldn't be positive 3, it would be negative 3. If the y is 2, what's going to be in here? Y minus 2 squared. And what's the radius? 4 squared. The radius is 4, but on this side you have 4 squared. So your equation here would be x minus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 16. Does that make sense? That's the equation of that circle. So what and all does that mean? Well, it means that the center of your circle is your h and k, and that your radius equals r. Yes? All right, so here we go. What if I give you this? X plus 4 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 9. Tell me what the center is.
4 negative 2.
No.
Negative 4, 2.
Negative 4, comma 2. It's the opposite. So if it's 4 here, the center would be negative 4. Does that make sense? The radius is your r, and what's sitting over there is r squared. So if r squared is 9, how do I solve for r? Square root 9, which is just 3. Who has questions on that? Okay, so what's the equation here? X minus 1 squared plus y plus 5 squared equals 7. What's your center? Center. 1, negative 5. Who's confused? What's your radius? Square root of 7. You take whatever number's here and take the square root of it. You with me? All right, let's do another one. What do you think the center is, Ashley? Say it again. Nope. 4's right. If it was -1, it would have to have a what? +1. What does this have? Nothing. You with me? What's the radius? You take whatever's here and take the square root of it. Monica, what's the center here? Center here is 0, 0. What's the radius? Square root of 64, which is? No. 8. Who has questions? It's pretty straightforward, huh? Okay. All right, here we go. This is the new stuff. This right here, recall factoring. How do you factor this? X and X multiplies to be 6, but adds to be 5, 2, and 3. Is everybody okay with that? All right, watch this. I'm going to make another detailed video, but I want you to see one while I'm with you. This right here is the equation of a circle. Because it has an x squared and a y squared and there's a plus here. So watch what I'm going to do. I don't know what the center is until I make it to be in that other form. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is this. I'm going to write x squared plus 8x. Do you see how those both have x's in them? And then I'm going to plus, and I'm going to put a blank spot. And then I'm going to do y squared minus 10y plus, and a blank spot, 5. Now what did I add over here? I added a blank and a blank. So to keep it equivalent, what would I add over here? Blank and a blank. Alright, watch me. In this blank, I'm going to add half of the b value squared. So in this equation, what's the b value? 8. So I'm going to add 8 over 2 squared. And what am I going to add right here? -10 over 2 squared. And then I would add that over here as well. Are you with me? Yeah. All right, here we go. What is 8 over 2 squared? 4. It's 4 squared, which is 16. Does that make sense? What's -10 over 2? -5 squared is +25. Are you with me? Equals 5 plus, what are these two? 16 plus. Does everybody see how I got those? Yeah. All right, here's the harder part. It's not really hard because we just did it. Review. You factor that piece. What does that factor into? X, X, and what multiplies to be 16 and adds to be 8. Plus 4 and plus 4. This will always be the number b divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Plus, now factor this piece. What multiplies to be 12 and adds to be -10? -5 minus 5. Again, it's right there. -10 divided by 2 is -5. Equals, what's 5 plus 16? 21 plus 25? Now, how is that the equation of a circle? X plus 4 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 46. What's my center?
-4, 5.
And what's my radius? That's it. Who has questions? All right, here's my main, watch this, guys. Look, please stop moving. Right here, when you're factoring, again, these are the biggest mistakes. This number right here always ends up in these positions. Here's the biggest mistake. People will not put a -5. Whatever sign this right here is, that will be the sign that's in those parentheses. But if you literally get the whole b, which is -10, and divide it by 2, you should know -10 over 2 is -5. Does that make sense?